Welcome, folks, and on to day 20 of our chronological journey through the Bible. Today we'll be covering Genesis chapters 25 and 26. And in these chapters, we see that the focus now shifts from Abraham to the next generation, to Isaac and his sons. And as the story unfolds, we encounter family tension, favoritism, and long-standing conflict between Jacob and Esau. And these chapters remind us that God's redemptive plan moves forward not through ideal circumstances, but through very real and often messy family dynamics. We also see Isaac walking in familiar patterns, sometimes marked by fear and hesitation, yet God remains present, reaffirming his covenant and blessing. Even when human choices complicate relationships and outcomes, God's purposes are not threatened. And so these chapters assure us that God's covenant promises are not derailed by human weakness. He remains faithful, steady, and committed to his plan across generations. And so before we dive into the reading portion for today, let's start with a quick prayer. Lord, help us trust your purposes, even when family and life feel complicated. Guide us to walk in quiet faithfulness, Lord, trusting you with the outcomes and trusting your word. And may your word be a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. Amen. All right, starting in Genesis chapter 25. Now Abraham had taken another wife named Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were the Asherites, the Letushites, and the Lumites. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanoch, Abida, and Eldah. All these were descendants of Keturah. Abraham left everything he owned to Isaac. But while he was still alive, Abraham gave gifts to the sons of his concubines and sent them away from his son Isaac to the land of the east. Abraham lived a total of 175 years, and at a ripe old age he breathed his last and died, old and contented, and was gathered to his people. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite. This was the field that Abraham had bought from the Hittites. Abraham was buried there with his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who lived near Beer Lahairoi. This is the account of Abraham's son Ishmael, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's maidservant, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael in the order of their birth. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, then Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema. These were the sons of Ishmael, and these were their names by their villages and encampments, 12 princes of their tribes. Ishmael lived a total of 137 years. Then he breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. Ishmael's descendants settled from Havilah to Shur, which is near the border of Egypt as you go toward Ashur, and they lived in hostility toward all their brothers. This is the account of Abraham's son Isaac. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Later Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was barren, and the Lord heard his prayer, and his wife Rebekah conceived. But the children inside her struggled with each other, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So Rebekah went to inquire of the Lord, and he declared to her, "2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." When her time came to give birth, there were indeed twins in her womb. The first one came out red, covered with hair like a fur coat, so they named him Esau. After this his brother came out grasping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Because Isaac had a taste for wild game, he loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, while Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the field and was famished. He said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of the red stew, for I am famished." That is why he was also called Edom. "First sell me your birthright," Jacob replied. "Look," said Esau, "I am about to die, so what good is a birthright to me?" "Swear to me first," Jacob said. So Esau swore to Jacob and sold him the birthright. Then Jacob gave some bread and lentil stew to Esau, who ate and drank and then got up and went away. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Chapter 26. Now there was another famine in the land, subsequent to the one that had occurred in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, at Gerar. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Settle in the land where I tell you. Stay in this land as a foreigner, and I will be with you and bless you. For I will give all these lands to you and your offspring, and I will confirm the oaths that I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. And through your offspring all nations of the earth will be blessed, because Abraham listened to my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." So Isaac settled in Gerar. But when the men of that place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." For he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," since he thought to himself, "The men of this place will kill me on account of Rebekah, because she is so beautiful." When Isaac had been there a long time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked down from the window and was surprised to see Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. Abimelech sent for Isaac and said, "So she is really your wife? How could you say she is my sister?" Isaac replied, "Because I thought I might die on account of her." "What is this you have done to us?" asked Abimelech. "One of the people could easily have slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." So Abimelech warned all the people, saying, "Whoever harms this man or his wife will surely be put to death." Now Isaac sowed seed in the land, and that very year he reaped 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him, and he became richer and richer until he was exceedingly wealthy. He owned so many flocks and herds and servants that the Philistines envied him. So the Philistines took dirt and stopped up all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of his father Abraham. Then Abimelech said to Isaac, "Depart from us, for you are much too powerful for us." So Isaac left that place and encamped in the valley of Gerar and settled there. Isaac reopened the wells that had been dug in the days of his father Abraham, which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham died, and he gave these wells the same names his father had given them. Then Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of fresh water there. But the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen and said, "The water is ours." So he named the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well and quarreled over that one also, so he named it Sitnah. He moved on from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. He named it Rehoboth, and said, "At last the Lord has made room for us, and we will be fruitful in the land." From there Isaac went up to Beersheba, and that night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." So Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there. His servants also dug a well there. Later Abimelech came to Isaac from Gerar with Ahuzzath his advisor and Phicol the commander of his army. "Why have you come to me?" Isaac asked him. "You hated me and sent me away." "We can plainly see that the Lord has been with you," they replied. "We recommend that there should now be an oath between us and you. Let us make a covenant with you that you will not harm us, just as we have not harmed you, but have done only good to you, sending you on your way in peace. And now you are blessed by the Lord." So Isaac prepared a feast for them, and they ate and drank. And they got up early the next morning and swore an oath to each other. Then Isaac sent them on their way, and they left him in peace. On that same day Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. "We have found water," they told him. So he called it Sheba, and to this day the name of the city is Beersheba. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as his wives Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they brought grief to Isaac and Rebekah. What a story. Wow. So these chapters show us that God's promises continue to move forward, even through imperfect families and unresolved tensions. Isaac's life, unlike Abraham's, is not marked by dramatic moments, but by steady obedience and quiet faithfulness. He does not blaze new trails so much so as he faithfully walks the path God has already established. Genesis 25 and 26 remind us that God's covenant is not sustained by human strength, cleverness, or control, but by his unwavering commitment. When life feels complicated, repetitive, or slow, God is still at work, faithfully carrying his promises forward, often in ways we do not immediately see. And with that, folks, we wrap up today's reading, and we'll see you all again tomorrow for day 21. God bless.